Hi everyone, how are you today? We are back with another book haul. I always feel a little self-conscious about these, but I know a lot of people really enjoy them. And this time I got books secondhand off of eBay, so it wasn't like a huge splurge. I'll just go through them briefly, talk about why I bought them, and what I'm hoping to get out of them, because I think I'll be reading them in the forthcoming year. First one, actually, you've probably seen before. This is The Painted Veil by W. Somerset Maugham. I actually read this earlier in the year, and it's already late August, and I still feel like this was the best book of the year so far. The Painted Veil is about, well, I did a whole video on it, which I'll link to, but it takes place during an epidemic of, I think it's cholera in Hong Kong, and it's about this couple that's having marital problems and just how that kind of plays out during the epidemic. I really loved this book, had to have my own copy, so that was this was like a buy 3 get 1 free deal, so I chose this one as the free one. But yeah, I would really recommend this book. Next book on the stack is Miss Julie and Other Plays by August Strindberg. Not familiar with this author. Let's see what it says here. Strindberg was one of the most extreme theatrical innovators of the late 19th century, and ultimately the most influential. The 5 plays translated here are those on which his international reputation as a dramatist principally rests, embracing his crucial transition from naturalism to modernism. So yeah, a Swedish playwright. I'm really into plays, or have been more interested in them in the last few years since I read Arthur Miller, so I'm looking forward to that for sure. The other book that is an author completely unfamiliar to me is this Jose Saramago's Blindness. This is another book that I've seen people reading during the current situation. And the reason for that is because it's about, well, as it says here, a city is hit by an epidemic of white blindness which spares no one. Authorities confine the blind to an empty mental hospital, but there the criminal element holds everyone captive, stealing food rations and assaulting women. So this is a rather bleak book, as you can imagine. Have not started it yet, but am interested in reading it. This author is Portuguese, I believe. And I think this, let's see, yeah, it won a couple of accolades here. So it should be interesting. This book did have kind of a tear there. I can probably tape that up though. Yeah, so Blindness. Let me know if you've read this, if it really is as disturbing as it sounds. I think it'll be alright. I'm just kind of glancing through it. It doesn't look like too difficult. Last one here, The Jungle by Upton Sinclair, the uncensored original edition. I actually didn't know there was a censored edition till I went to buy this, but I've been meaning to read this a long time. This is an American classic from 1906, I think. Okay, this actually doesn't really have a synopsis, but it's basically about the meatpacking industry in the United States and the terrible conditions and abuses of the working environment. And yeah, the novel's graphic description of unsanitary conditions in the Chicago meatpacking industry and the brutal treatment of immigrant laborers came as a revelation to most Americans. The resulting outcry soon became so great that President Roosevelt and Congress were forced to pass the first pure food and drug laws in this country. Some years later, Sinclair wrote about the amazing popularity of his book, saying, "I aimed at the public's heart, and by accident I hit it in the stomach." So this should be very interesting. Been, again, wanting to read it for a while. I had a great-great-grandfather, I think, who worked in the meat industry or meat inspection industry, but I think it was well after this occurred. So by then, I think those new laws and regulations would have been in place. But yeah, I think this will be quite educational. Yeah. So yeah, let me know if you've read The Jungle. I know it's actually a pretty well-known American classic. I just never got around to it before. Or if you've read these other ones, Strindberg and The Painted Veil, let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Please like the video if you enjoyed it. Also, if you like my videos, you might want to consider hitting the bell icon, because people have been telling me that YouTube does not always notify them of new videos. Just a heads up, and thank you so much for your comments. I really enjoy reading all of them. It really makes my day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.